morning, everyone. Today I'm going to share with you the book that revolutionized my life, and that is To Have More Plan. I'm going to share with you how we went from $300,000 in debt. We sold everything that we owned, bought this property. I took this book from cover to cover and read it, and I implemented everything pretty much that it had in here to say. Today I'm standing in front of my 1963 Ridgeway double wide. This is an original mobile home. There's nothing added to it, nothing taken away. But I'm going to share with you what is the Have More Plan. The Have More Plan was written out for people like me who had a 1-acre homestead and they wanted to turn it into as much of a food producing little area that they possibly could. The Have More Plan said step by step how a family of 5 took what I have and made their own little homestead with it. Everything you can imagine is in this little booklet, and it revolutionized their life. It changed their life forever, and I'm going to share with you some of the ways that it's changed me. So the Have More Plan is you take 1 acre of ground, you turn it into a mini homestead. This book was written decades ago, but you know what? A lot of people are starting to do this in this day and age. So let me show you chapter 1. So chapter 1 is we turn the camera around, and that is turning our yard, not lawn, but food. Chapter 1 is you rototill your front lawn and you turn it into a garden. And behind me is my garden. So it is a very large garden. I know the camera doesn't do it much justice, but I turned pretty much everything I possibly could in the front of my yard into a food producing area. So what is in my garden? Everything that you can imagine. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that they tell you in the book to do. One of the things are to have things that are perennials. So to plant asparagus, to plant rhubarb, to plant all kinds of herbs, and to plant grapes. I have a large grape arbor, and I want to share with you my cold frames and everything in the Have More Plan. And this book is just absolutely amazing. It's been out of print for many, many years, but I will share with you the link if I can find it in the description box below. But let me show you some of the things you can plant, and they're with you the rest of your life. So one of the things are rhubarb. One of the things I love to grow is rhubarb. So this rhubarb, you can make pies with it. I actually like making a punch, a drink with it, and canning it. That video will be coming really soon. Rhubarb, and of course you know I love my herbs because the spice of life is in your herbs. We have all kinds of menthol tea. The lamb's ear is what we use to make band-aids with it. We have comfrey. Comfrey also I use externally, only externally. Lots of oregano. Different kinds of oregano. We have spicy, we have regular. And this large herb here I use only to decorate my home. This here is the large herb is called mugwort, and I use these as a way to screen my property a little bit. They'll get very large, and then it gives me more privacy when I'm out in the garden. Plus it has a beautiful silver leaf to it when it is mature, and I use that to make my own wreaths and things like that. Garlic is another thing in the Have More Plan. All the garlic that we have here. But what else is in the Have More Plan? Well, let me show you. Alright, so we have a large grape arbor that runs our property. So these are Concord grapes, which I use to make jelly, I use to make juice, and if those people who are interested in wine, you can make wine with them. As you know, last year we put a new arbor up. The old one we had for about 8 years. So last year we put up the new arbor, and they're actually doing really well. And Have More Plan, it talks about growing things that are perennial, like having grapes, because you plant it once and that's all you need to do for many, many years. So my grape arbor extends very far. And of course, homestead's not complete unless you have chickens. And I'll share with you my chickens in the Have More Plan. And of course you know about having chickens because I have them in almost every video of mine. But in the Have More Plan, just raising a couple chickens. It's like your victory garden. I like the back of the book because it says it perfectly. Let's rebuild America. And that's what I think we should do. Rebuild America with the Have More plan. A little land and a lot of living. That's what I like to do. A little land and a lot of living. But what else can you do? Let me share you. I'm sure some of you were skeptical when I did this project, thinking it would be great just for a video. But let me show you what it looks like. Remember when we planted the spinach only a few weeks ago? The spinach now. In fact, I can almost start harvesting it. That's what the Have More plan is about. Harvesting things wherever you can grow them. This here just sits right along my home. I've seen so many people do that. They'll take a property and they'll just plant things all along their property, like right where their house is. Now, right now it's 32 degrees, so I need to cover this. Spinach, my friends, spinach, just right along my house. So the Have More plan, you can almost implement it anywhere you live. Even in the city, you can implement it, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. Wherever you have your home, the outskirts of your home, if you have any kind of dirt, you can use that for your Have More plan. You don't have to have acreage, and that is what's so important. That is such a passion of mine, is to tell people that they don't have to have the acreage. I know so many of the large homestead channels out there have all kinds of area of space, and they're growing things, and they're having buildings, and they're putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into it. You don't have to have that. You don't have to have a lot of acreage. You don't have to have a lot of space, but you can have it just where you're at, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. What is chapter 3 in our book? The kind of berries and grapes money can't buy. Well, that's what I did. All along here, my property line, I have all kinds of berries growing. In fact, I need to get trimming the dead part off of them. But here it is once again. I have it growing just all along my property. As you can see, the canes are getting a little bit wild, and I need to work on that. Just another thing you can do. These actually are wild canes. We got them and harvested them, and we replanted them here, and they get beautiful red raspberries. And of course, I talk to you all the time about having my rain barrels. Having the rain barrels is really nice. You can use it to water your plants. You can use it in emergency. Let's just say our electric would go out. We could use the water to flush our toilets. Because we live out here in the country, you can use it to water for your chickens, you can use it for dishwater, you can use it for laundry, all those things. So the Have More plan talks about having water as well. Here is the scorecard for what to look for in a Have More homestead. You need to have good sewage, you need to have good water supply, your own well, and your own sewage. Having an orchard, having outbuildings, having berries, having land to have a garden. All of these things can be in the Have More plan. I bought this property almost 10 years ago. This wasn't a homestead at all. There was nothing growing here at all. It was just an old mobile home on 1 acre. And within days, we turned that into something. You know, it took some hard work, but we turned it into a homestead. As a lot of sweat and tears went into this place. Not much money, because as you all know, we didn't have much money when we bought this. We had to buy the property with cash, and then there was nothing left. But with our hard work, finding things for free, we turned it into the Have More plan. I keep saying the Have More plan because that is what it is. It's having more without having finances, without having money. It's having more, living abundantly. This book emphasizes my life totally. The Victory Garden for 5. There's only 2 of us, but our garden is this big. It tells you step by step what to plant, how to plant it. Absolutely one of the most treasured books that I have in my library. And I strongly suggest you can find it probably online and read it there. But I strongly suggest that if this is something that interests you, get the book. It will change your life if you implement the things that are in it. the have more plan. One other thing they talk about in the book is having a greenhouse. The greenhouse behind me only cost me $55. And you know, it's lasted me many years. And this greenhouse is one of the best things that I ever got because I have so much fun. I spend a lot of time in it growing things. And I'll share with you just a few minutes what I have inside because we actually had a frost last night. But I have a lot of things growing in here. And you know, with the book plan, having a little greenhouse can really just extend your garden. It can extend so much of your enjoyment, having a hobby of growing things. And so it's actually pretty full in here. And then I have it on the other side. As the months go, you're going to see a lot more things in here. But I would strongly suggest you get a greenhouse. You know, $55 is not much, and it's amazing. It really is. And saving up your money for it. I've wanted one of these a long, long time, and I'm really thankful I was able to get one. Enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspired you more than anything, and I hope that you implement some of these ideas into your life. You know, you don't have to have the full large garden, or you don't have to have the 1 acre, but grow something, do something fun that will help enrich your life. You know, there's so many people. I know somebody who lives in the inner city, and they are changing their life by just implementing some of these ideas in a little strip of ground that they have. And it's absolutely the most inspiring thing that I have ever seen. You know, some people are inspired when they see large channels and acreages and, you know, new equipment and new barns and all that. But what inspires me is somebody who has nothing and they turn it into something that didn't cost them much money. That is what inspires me. And that is what I want to do to my channel for all of you. Let your lack of money discourage you from living your dream. You know, this may not be a big dream to some people, but to me, it's a life that's worth lived. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and a big mwah. Bye, everybody.